All right. So today we're going to talk about fear, false evidence appearing real, and how to take action steps toward our vision, releasing that fear, maybe releasing the fear right before a phone call, maybe releasing the fear right away after we're looking at our vision board in the morning, or at night because it seems so big. Releasing fear anytime we feel that it's coming on, and the tools that we need to use in order to keep moving forward, to take initiative toward our visions. So now that we're all radically responsible for filling out our self-responsibility worksheets for financial abundance. So every week we have how many people we contact, how many conversations we had, how many next level conversations we had. Basically, we're responsible for making our dreams come true. But unless we communicate with people and form connections and ask questions, we're not going to move forward, right? So we think that it's about clients, but in reality, the world wants us to go out there and form connections and understand our value, the value of our energy, and understand that we can make miracles happen for people. And the world wants us to put contracts in place to tell people that we can hold space for their miracles. That's all that coaching is, right? Holding space for somebody to understand their superpower, to hold them accountable for their higher vision. That's it. So some of the ways that I have explored releasing fear, and each of us is going to demonstrate, and we'll do it together today, is loving touch, right? Like loving touch. And Masha's going to do breath work, but loving touch. So if you touch yourself right now and say like, it's okay, like gentleness, graciousness, loving touch, touch bypasses. Remember in Gene Keys, we've learned this before, that touch bypasses the mental mind and the emotional mind. Whether it is touch with another person or touch with ourselves, touch transforms everything. So when you touch yourself, you're releasing fear. You're letting go of what doesn't serve you. And when you put breath together with touch, with conscious awareness, then you have this magic that's about to unfold. If you're going into a meeting or sitting at Starbucks, wanting to talk to somebody, get a new client, living your life purpose. If you're getting some anxiety sometimes that maybe things are not happening fast enough, like just to slow down and just touch and love in yourself. Physical touch. Remember, it bypasses the emotional and the mental. Physical touch and breath work. So can we all commit to incorporating some physical touch into our daily routines? Yes?
Yes.
And how about incorporating some breath work that Masha is about to guide us on as well? So this is going to be a recording, so that way we can put this physical touch and breath work into the course and we can revisit it. How does it feel to touch yourself and just be like, oh, it's okay, it's all right?
It feels good. It feels very necessary. I
Mm.
realize how much it was needed. Now I see why you're always hugging yourself.
You know, I didn't notice that I was always hugging myself until you said something.
Yeah.
And because when you condition yourself to love yourself, it becomes part of who you are, and you don't notice the kind of things that you do for yourself out of
Yeah.
love because it's so like automatic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you noticed that because
Yeah. It reminds me childlike. Like, it's almost like you look like a little kid, how they're just so, oh, and kids do beautiful things. They teach us a lot. We're paying attention.
yes. And the truth is, if we love ourselves, if we love on ourselves, with the physical touch, hi Selva, with the physical touch, we learn to love on ourselves. With the breath work we're about to go into, we love on ourselves. So when we do this for ourselves, we can open up the space, right, for love with another. So we're doing physical touch right now. And whenever you have experienced fear or something negative happens, we gotta go back into touch and loving ourselves and giving this care to ourselves in the body, and that's okay. Sometimes we think that this touch and this love needs to come from outside ourselves, when in reality, that's a bonus, right? And when we
Yeah.
love ourselves, we'll have another person to touch and love us, whether it's a friend, family, child, partner. But first, we got to do that for ourselves, to let it in and independently already feel all the love, right? Especially when things are not going our way, right? I love
Mm.
you. Say to yourself, I love you. That's
Mm.
okay. Give yourself some goosebumps, like, oh, look at that. I got goosebumps. Hmm. I know there's always more to do, and I've done plenty today, so that's okay. I'm gonna go into my biggest dreams. I'm gonna live my purpose. I'm gonna be fully present, and every day I'm doing my best. Maybe give yourself a nice big hug. And I like to do this practice of, if you put your hand, let's say left hand, on your shoulder, and you put your ear down on it and just kind of lean your head on it and just like make your head feel weightless. Then if you pet yourself with the other arm, it feels like somebody else. Somebody else is petting you.
Hmm.
Mm. For some reason, this position right here makes me feel totally out of body, that someone else is petting me and making me feel that it's okay. Mm. Remember, it doesn't matter how old we get. Every moment, every person is just a little child who wants to be loved, who wants to know that everything's okay, that somebody cares. So I care. I care about you. I care about you caring about yourself and giving to yourself all the love that you need. So this is one way to overcome fear, is physical loving touch. And now the second way, drum roll, is unmute yourself, breath work. So now beautiful Masha is gonna explain to us a little bit about breath work and take us on a breath work. And if you feel called as she's taking you on a breath work, and remember, bring in your intention today. We all know what our visions are. Yeah, sometimes it's sleep. But bring in your vision, your intention, okay? Let's do a beautiful breath work with Masha. And if you feel called to touch yourself at the same time at some point, you're welcome to love on yourself and bring in this higher level of awareness. So now the floor is yours, Masha.
Well, I hear that yawning is actually releasing, so I'm releasing some fear of public speaking right now. Um, so this is a breath work that I learned in Kundalini Yoga. It's a fear eradicator. It's breath of fire. So we're gonna take our hands 60 degrees. You're gonna bring your fingers into your palms, really, really strongly, and then you keep these hands activated and the thumbs are pointing towards each other. If you're driving or sitting in the car, just simply do the breath instead of this part, obviously. And all you're going to do is inhale and exhale out of the nostrils, and you're going to pump the navel in. So it looks like this. So my navel is pumping. And we're here for 3 minutes. It's going to get really hard. Feel free to close your eyes, focus on your third eye gaze. Releasing the fear, releasing what no longer serves you, also known as the ego eradicator. So what is fear? Fear means
false evidence appearing real, false evidence appearing real, false evidence appearing real, false evidence appearing real.
what's the opposite of fear? It is love. So when you do your service, you're doing the highest form of love, which is the opposite of fear. 2 more minutes. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. On the other side of this fear, it's going to be, you're going to feel so much ecstasy. You're going to feel so much love. It's worth it. One more minute. Push through. Almost there. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale your hands overhead. Place the thumbs together. Release the fingertips up. Hold the breath in. Deep inhalation. Squeeze the pelvic muscles. Squeeze the belly button towards the rib cage. Hold the breath in for as long as you can. Keep holding. Keep holding. Taking your awareness to your pineal gland, to your third eye. Keep holding. Now, what is your highest vision? See your highest vision. See it, see it, see it. See it in the third eye. Tapping it into the fifth dimension. When you need to exhale, let it go. Hold the breath out. And release your vision. Surrender to the universe. Return back to normal breathing. Whee!
And now let's send this gratitude positive energy toward Masha with our hands. Thank you for sharing this practice. Thank you for sharing this beautiful energy transmission through the breath. So these are two tools, and now if you combine them together, so anything that happens, you can go into breathing, and you don't even have to wait for breath work. You can go into deeper breathing with physical touch, right? So how do we bring now awareness into this practice? As we're going toward our visions, those big visions that we have, big or small. Now we've got breath, we've got physical touch. How do we master awareness? Becoming aware of the vision, our higher purpose vision, becoming aware of the negative thoughts, becoming aware of maybe some self-sabotage or not doing what we need to be doing. This week, I heard a really good quote about stress. Is that stress is, how do you say that? Do you remember the words? Anthony?
Huh?
Do you remember the quote about stress? Because I'm going to butcher it. Stress. So the way that I understood it is stress is when you don't have a clear direction of where you're going and you don't do the things that you know you should be doing. Does that resonate for anybody? Because when we raise your hand if it resonates, that stress is not doing the things that we know we should be doing. Because when you're going towards something that's important to you, even if you're working 15, 16-hour days, yes, you may be feeling exhausted, but that's not stress. Who here understands this or has an example or wants to say something about that?
Yeah, if you want, I have it here, because you sent it to me, I guess, like stress doesn't come from hard work, it comes from not taking action over things you can have control over. Stress comes from ignoring things you shouldn't be ignoring. And that's really was
Okay, and now I want you to read it, but very slow, and make sure every word comes out, because in the recording, I will isolate this, and you're gonna be our demonstration or of what fear, of what stress is. So go ahead.
Stress doesn't come from hard work. It comes from not taking actions or things you can have control over. Stress comes from ignoring things you shouldn't be ignoring.
And one last time, will you read it one last time so we can really let that sink in?
Stress doesn't come from hard work. It comes from not taking actions over things you can have control over. Stress comes from ignoring things you shouldn't be ignoring.
So stress is coming from things that you're ignoring that you shouldn't be ignoring. Does that resonate? Anybody? Yeah? So why do we stress out, for example, when we don't have, let's say, a flow of clients coming in or abundance coming in financially? Why do we experience stress?
Because the energy is stuck. We are not feeling the energy is flowing. For example, for me, I'm stressed when I keep thinking about everything I need to do. I'm in my mind, but I'm not doing the things, right? So then they always to a way that like I get distressed out. So, okay, just start with one thing, no? I start to killing my, to-do list, and then the stress go away. Sometimes it's so much things that you feel overwhelmed, and then you get stressed. And then, if you didn't took care about some details, that's what happened to me this last week. Things came out of the blue, and I got stressed because I wasn't prepared to what's gonna happen, what did happen, right? So like either way, is taking care of details of all your works and such. All the time that you do it, there is no surprises. At least somebody really tried to make it harder to sabotage you.
So we had this conversation this week. The higher we get vibrationally, the more there are dark forces. And dark forces come in forms of thoughts. They come through other people. They come through things that maybe we're our vibration elevates and we're trying things and it backfires. Because the thing is, as you're moving up the vibrational scale, the frequency scale, there's less and less people that reside there. Because more and more people are in the lower vibrational states. So when you're stepping outside yourself, outside the norm, there is a lot more opposition. Does that make sense? Because when you are stepping outside the norm, for example, I did a marketing campaign like a week ago, and it backfired. And it was horrible. And there was like so much hate going on. And I was like, you know what? At least I'm trying. And I have to just release and let go and forgive the fact that this company messed up. Now I have all these people that are pissed off. This is part of the game. It's unavoidable to have fires that you have to put out when you're trying to do your best. At the end of the day, I knew that my intention was pure. It was in the right place. So I can't please everybody. And that's where we have to understand that, like, the moment that we keep stepping outside the norm, there's going to be a lot of opposition and a lot of things that are going to go wrong, a lot of fires to put out. And the most important thing is, how do you manage your emotional state when there's so much chaos going on? Because if you can manage your emotional state when there's a lot of chaos going on, you are unstoppable. You shift back into your vision fast. Do you see what I mean? Because if nobody can take away from you your vision, like for just momentarily, they knock you off your high horse, but they bring you right back, then 5 seconds later, you could be manifesting that vision just because you've bounced back. Your emotion, your energy and motion has shifted faster to allow for the magic to come in. Does that make sense? And another cool quote, and then if anybody else has any suggestions on how to release fear, is that I read from Gene Keys this week, is that fear is simply a vibration, a frequency. Fear is simply a vibration, a frequency that emerges from the chemistry of the body. So when you change the chemistry, you change the fear. And how do we change the chemistry of the body? Breath, physical touch, loving awareness. Anybody else have any other suggestions on how to transmute fear or how to release stress that want to demonstrate or share?
I have a few that I'll share. So the ones that I have found to be the most effective, you can just scream at the top of your lungs until you can't scream anymore and you get like this head rush. And just like, if it's got to be in a pillow, if you're driving to work and you're alone, or you're, just find a way to be able to just let that energy flow out of you until you get a little dizzy from it. And then it just kind of moves the energy. So that's one of the ways, I've been doing the artist way, and it entails 3 pages of just writing whatever it is that you feel like it in the morning. And I find that This week has been challenging for me to do those writings, but when I do the writings, I'm just like griping and bitching about any and everything that just comes out of me. So as I flow through my day, there really isn't anything that is an annoyance with me, because by the next morning, if there was something that struck me the day before, I'm writing about it the next morning. And it just comes out of me. So writing has been really effective for me. There's so many good ones. So recently,
By the way, that writing is the second step in the daily rituals.
yeah,
Grateful for, and then obviously once you start writing, then you start writing whatever comes.
a gratitude list is also very powerful. You know, at nighttime, I was doing that for a while. And just like putting some motion, there's a small little 3-minute exercise that I can do with everyone if you're willing and down. Let's do it. Yeah. So it's a very simple exercise. It's
Hold on, I'm gonna put you as the main speaker when we, because it's recording it. So you
Yeah.
can, if you don't mind explaining about the exercise, and then we do it together.
okay.
You're on.
Okay. So I attended a Tony Robbins seminar recently, and he was sharing on how to move stagnant energy through your body and get your energy levels up. And it's a 2-minute exercise that you can do at any point throughout your day. If you don't have privacy, you could go to the bathroom, close the door, turn on the sink, and you just start. So you're gonna start off by just putting your hands next to the sides of your body. And you're gonna put your body in the same position with your thumbs down, and your hands locked in a position of like a fist. And then you're gonna lift your arms up here. And then you're gonna lock your fist behind your ear. And you're just gonna do about 10 pumps forward, right? This is gonna help your posture, and it's gonna put you in that Superman position so that you can straighten out your posture. So we're gonna go forward 10 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you're gonna put your arms back out forward, and we're gonna go forward in a circling position. We're gonna go forward 20 times, and then we're gonna go backwards 20 times. Now we're gonna go backwards. So what this helps with is your posture, and it helps with the balance of your hips. So by the time you finish these 2 exercises, your posture and the balance of your hips would have been aligned some. And then there's the last one. You're gonna just have your feet aligned with your hips, and you're gonna put one in front of you, like if you're gonna race, right? Like you're ready to go into a race. So just one foot forward and the other one like this. And then you're gonna pretend that you're racing, but go really fast. And we're only gonna do that for like 10, 20 seconds, okay? So put yourself in the position, and we're gonna go in this direction once and in that direction once. So when everybody's ready, we'll get going. 1, 2, 3, go fast. Keep going. Keep going. You got this. Go real fast. Go, 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 go. Okay. Let's change positions. Go to the other side. You ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Run as fast as you can. Go ahead. Catch that car in front of you. Go, 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 go. Shake it off. And this is going to get you going. You can do this throughout your whole day as many times as you want. It's going to take you 2 or 3 minutes to do this. It'll get your energy up. I'm sweating. And it'll put your body in alignment. So that's what I got. Thank you.
Yeah. That was awesome. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
It felt like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I especially love that last exercise. I did it. I did all of the Tony Robbins stuff previously too. It's cool. I
Yeah.
love that last exercise. Everybody find that useful?
Yeah. Yeah, discharge a lot of energy too.
Yeah, you get it. And you know,
I was
my
not
arms
punching
were
running, but
sore. The next day I felt like I did a full-blown workout, just that little circle stuff. You feel it.
Mhm.
So if you think about fear, that it's a vibration, right? So there's something that takes over you, and now you're vibrating at a different frequency. What happens when you're changing your frequency, your chemistry, your
You're
vibration?
vibrating higher.
Yep. And then fear has no place, right? Because you just kicked its ass. Because you
Yep.
just kicked it out of the body.
That's it. You kicked its ass.
So I want to talk about how we're gonna tackle all these visions that we have and actually go out and have these conversations. So who here is anybody procrastinating? Anybody here procrastinating? Okay, we got procrastinating. So
It's
what
not procrastinating, it's just like a things happening that destroy my timing. Like,
this is why you just gotta turn the other way and go find the little closet to keep working on.
yeah, but I need to resolve the problem that's being created by this other person. So like I'm a
With
little
love,
bit,
with love in due time.
so I'm, and then yeah, little procrastination because I know I didn't feel any more, that pump, like your brain is tired, you're like emotional, and then you get more drained, the procrastination. I don't know if it can be described as procrastination, but
This is the key. The key is when something happens to you, how do you transform that emotion? Like, how do you release it out of the body? And you just had a bunch of examples to release it out of the body, because things don't need to be resolved in that same second. And that's the thing. If you have a vision you're going toward, you think that things need to be resolved in that second, but right there you're spinning your wheels and your emotion is getting wasted. So you're using it on things that don't matter at the moment, that don't even need to be resolved. Right?
Yeah.
Am I right or am I right? Because I've been there many, many times. So what do you do the moment that you're triggered? Something bad happens. Can you run over to the pillow and scream? Can you do a breath work in the bathroom of a restaurant? I don't care where you are. Can you drop it like it's hot and go get yourself together energetically, vibrationally, so that way 5 minutes later you can be back on course? Because energy is finite. Every day we only have so much we can spend before we're like, okay, now I just want to turn on the TV and watch a movie or turn on music or take a bath. There's only so much of it. So we have to learn how to use it correctly every day toward the things that actually matter. Like, we can have friends that want to have conversations with us, for example. We can have friends that want to have conversations with us. And if we talk to 3, 4 friends, now we don't have time to pursue connections that could be beneficial for our business based on our vision. So it's like, if you are like, okay, I'm giving this friend 5 minutes, great. Because it's not that we're not working on this bigger vision together. So there's no point in giving this person all of that energy where it's a working day and I have to be working toward my vision right now. Do you see what I mean? We don't always have to pick up the phone call. If we are in the middle of working on ourselves and our vision, our purpose takes priority above everything else. Do you agree with me? Raise your hand if you agree that our purpose comes first. Yes. Because if we live our purpose, if we use our energy the right way, if we say, I am committed now every day to reaching out to 5 people, to have conversations, to get out of myself and see how I can be a best service to somebody else, then that's the energy I have. And then maybe I'll have a little bit left at the end for everything else. Maybe not. Does anybody have a comment about this? How are you willing to commit to going toward this vision, toward these goals? And if things come to interrupt, to bounce back, what accountability do you need to like go to it, go get her done every day? Because initiative is about taking actions. Without action, there's no transformation. We can do all the planning in the world. We can keep reading all the books in the world, but unless we are going out and having the conversations, like if I'm committed to making 5 conversations a day, I have to make 5 conversations a day, right? So if I have somebody calling me right now, but I haven't hit my daily quota, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna just drop my goal, or am I gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna text this person, I'll call them later when I'm done? Because I don't need to use my daily energy when I'm high for a conversation with a friend, where I could just do it in the evening, sometime later. So who here wants to be in the spotlight and make a commitment that they're gonna reach out, like that they're gonna do their goal that they're committing to this week every day, and send us a calendar showing us that they're doing it? Who here wants to make a commitment and wants all of us to hold them accountable for the decision that they're making right now?
I feel like I've been living up to my commitment and then some. Definitely. I've been going to a lot of recovery meetings, probably because I prayed about it. And it just so happens that a handful of clients are like, hey, I want to go to a meeting. So every time I've gone to a meeting, I've made a point to raise my hand and I speak up, and it's been coming more and more natural. So, and I've been meeting people and giving out my telephone number. I met someone on Nextdoor. We've exchanged telephone numbers and we're gonna have like a lunch date. So it's just a matter of me like really coordinating, and then when I'm with them, that's where I gotta like, okay, like really just be of service and not coach, right? Because the minute that anyone hears that I'm a coach, they want to start asking me all kinds of questions, right?
Right.
So I have,
Oh, this is the key. The key is what you just said. They want to start asking me questions. So what
okay,
do you do when somebody asks you questions?
I ask them questions.
Yes.
I am really good at deflecting and asking them questions. Because that's just my nature. Now, I have to refrain from coaching, right? Like giving genuine, like, oh, I've read this book, or I've done this, or this was helpful, or whatever. So that's where it's just so natural that I have to like, and I feel like I'm like, okay, tensing up a little bit. And I'm like, and it's just that I'm doing something different, right? I'm learning something different.
So can I shine in here?
Absolutely. Please do. I always appreciate your input and it's always welcome. So give it.
Thank
Please.
you.
Yeah.
How much value do you feel that you've gotten from having accountability and having this community here yourself, like getting coached through the process of being a coach?
A great amount. Yes.
Right.
There's a lot of value in this. Absolutely.
Do you think you would have gotten the same results if you were doing this on your own?
No. No, there's quite a few things that I just wouldn't have with the space. No. I'll stick to just the no. I don't need to elaborate anymore.
Yes. So that's the whole point of transformation, is that people need to be inside of the same sphere to keep transforming and accountable for it. So they need to buy their own result. When they buy their own result, they'll do it. Because people buy in order to believe in themselves.
And listen, I'll be straight up honest, in the last 2 weeks, I'm like, fuck this. I've been doing this so long and this shit isn't working. And then the next day I'm like, of course it's working. Look at this, look at that. And then I'm cursing you out, I'm cursing Masha out, and none of you had anything to do with it. But I'm like, fuck them all. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like this works, and I'm just having a fit.
Yesterday I had a fit. I didn't know how I could possibly have a baby.
I was wondering when that was coming.
What are you cursing me out for?
Just because your text came through at a moment that I was having a shit fit, and I was like, oh, fuck you. Yeah,
So
you got it.
every day is a new day. And there's a song Anthea and I made called Every Day is a New Day, or just every day.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Today was not as hard of a day. It was a much simpler day with Satori than it was yesterday. And yesterday I wanted to go jump off something.
Mm. Well, thank you for not jumping off of something.
Yeah.
You have to, in the moment, you just gotta remember that this is the life journey. If everything was an uphill, we wouldn't even know it's uphill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
because everything is relative to everything else.
Yeah.
In relation to, if there's not something to be in relation to, we don't know who we are, what's good, what's bad.
But it's interesting that you shared that, Dash, because yesterday I had pretty interesting suicidal thoughts, and they were kind of like very scarce, but it's and I didn't share it with you, so it's interesting that you had like that, even that thought.
Well, it was a really, really difficult day yesterday. Being a
Yeah.
mother and entrepreneur, there's only one thing more difficult than being a newborn mother and being an entrepreneur. And it is being a newborn mother and an entrepreneur at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Now try to put that into a yoga pose while you do all three, right? Yeah.
Balance.
Jin,
I realize I put myself down. I have the luxury of being able to come home, and when I'm wiped out, I could take a 15-minute nap. So that also cures me, just to go, and 15 minutes is enough for me to clear my mind and come back to deal with whatever it is. Because when I get tired, I can go into a big tailspin. And I know this. So I'm just like, nope, I put myself down. Like Satori, I'll have a shit fit just like him. So I go put myself in timeout, and I come back and I'm happy, joyous, and free again, right?
can we get you to commit to making a video about that?
Huh. That video stuff and all the stuff that you talk about, I really need someone to hold my hand with all of that.
Okay. One video by Friday about this.
What's this? Like,
But you
I
just-
need
but you-
content.
what you just said. Like anytime I feel that I feel tired or my energy is all over the place, guess what? One hack I use in order to change my energy, change my state. I take a nap. Because right now you have so many people that are watching you, waiting for you to be like, okay, I'm opening my door. Hello.
I even shared a clip of when I was in the conference, and I was clipping it, but the audio is really heavy. And I posted it, and I was like, okay. So I didn't have all the fear that I had from before and all that. I just did it, and I just don't even know where to start with this stuff. And then when I do something with it, I'm like, I don't know where the hell this is going. Like, where does it end up once I hit this button?
So put it on one of your socials.
Hmm.
And you can even say in the beginning, I was uncomfortable doing this. And I know that when I do things that I'm uncomfortable doing, I'm going to grow. So here I am showing up. I'm here to serve. Here's my little snippet of awakening for you today.
Hey.
And see if at the end you can say a call to action. I know I'm making you uncomfortable. That's the whole point. At the end, a call to action. And I'm passionate helping people with. If you know anybody, message me. Can we
I'll
hold?
share the video with you in the group first so you can give me feedback before I post it up.
Okay, wonderful. By noon Friday?
By noon Friday. Let's do noon Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah, I have a heavy week.
okay. Send in the chat that you're responsible for this. Okay, who else can we put on a hot seat to do something they're uncomfortable doing?
Well, I did involve myself in be part of this online salon to showcase the art piece I have, but digitally. And, I sign up and everything, and I start to put in the stuff online. The only things that all what happened since last Thursday to today, they never stop day by day. I've been attacked mentally and physically, so it's been difficult to put the stuff together. So that's why I said procrastination for me was not like yeah, sometimes I do procrastinate a little bit because I have a little bit of stress on doing stuff, and I like to work with the pressure. I have these bad habits. I like to work with pressure, so I kind of like I tend to take it slower and I say like a productive procrastination. It's like you do something else that you don't need to do really, but it's still useful, but it's not priority, right? And then I put on the back burner the stuff that I need to have a deadline. And then it's something that I always like I try to correct, because it's like I know that sometimes I get I get emotional when I need to do a new project because it's new, the excitement and all this kind of discomfort, the excitement mixed together, because it's something unknown things, right? So that you're going through. And then it can tend to put me like, oh yeah, if I do it tomorrow, I know I need to do these things first. So now I do this. Oh, I didn't have time today to finish because I have these things to do, right? So that's what I like happen in my productive procrastination. And then I get the stress when you send me that phrase, yes, the stress, like the things you to do, but you don't take, actions for, and that they're like in your head, right? They're like, but yeah, at the same time, it's been really like a heavy 5 days, like between car stolen and house almost emptied out, including my belongs and all my work tools, and almost closed outside of the house. He cut electricity, cut internet, changed my mail, he cut my phone. It's been like every day, like one things that every day, like put so much effort to and time, police and this and then report and calls and reinstate all the stuff. So it's just like sometimes it's something else outside you that comes, and make all this impediment to follow your schedule, right? So so for me, I did commit to like doing this saloon, but I'm like I've been like until today. Today I got the last, yesterday today I got the last things. The internet disconnected, so I hope it ran out of steam to ideas, to like trying to like attack me. And so tonight I can focus on that. Is Sunday. I hope I can finish on time, and by Sunday, exhibit the piece 3D yet to finish the audio that I want to put in because I want to do some sound. And that piece it was for showcasing with a QR code while I'm at Auburn. The piece in 3D, if somebody want to buy it, like. At the same time, I don't know if I can go now to the law burner because I'm not protected if I'm leaving the house by any paper. He could come back in and empty out the house again. So I'm a little bit like in a situation that I did set up everything. I did got the money. I'm ready to go, but there is this outside impediments that are damaging that somebody else want to do to me that I can't have control, right? So over, right? Is a little bit, I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult. I'm trying to be happy. And I try to get the pillow broken in two.
So just listen, yeah, the pillow,
Yeah.
listen to the forgiveness practices and tune into your higher self. For Ho'oponopono.
No, I've been screaming inside the car, screaming, yeah, Ho'oponopono, yeah, everything's the meditation and cold shower, and I feel good. I'm not the stress and the fear has been gone. It's just little hanger now, like and plus like my sisters from the Star Seeds decide to cut me out of completely from the show because they are afraid about this person, and I'm not in the house. I don't know. It was like in a moment I need sisterhood. Also, this like okay, but it's better because not universe is trying to washing out all the things that are not serving me, and that things wasn't serving me because it's not how I want to coach people or I want to help people. That is made in a way that is manipulative and not really aligning with my higher self. And so it's
Selma,
it's good,
I have a dare for you.
Mm.
You get to create a video with your phone about how, and it's not going to be specific toward him. It's just going to say, that when you are changing, so you're talking right to yourself, when you're changing and you're going toward your big vision and things are happening for you, there's more and more dark forces trying to destroy your happiness. So talk to yourself, but not specific. Don't mention him because there's no him. Just talk about him as the dark forces. And all the things that don't serve you, suddenly all the doors start shutting down. That's when you gotta realize, you're talking to yourself, that's when you gotta realize that this is all happening for you. And you gotta do your daily practices, your fear releasing, stress releasing practices in order to continue on your mission. Okay, so when you do,
I did actually. I think I wrote these things because I.
And when you do it, I want you to don't do it recording with internet. Just record it into your phone because your internet's not good. When you record it, speak slowly, like you're talking to a 5-year-old, and see if you can say every word to the fullest.
Yeah, I did wrote this the other day because I was like having all this throw about these people and how how people define themselves, how I want to define myself, and such as a and I wrote, I'm not afraid of people of a negative throw about me or my project. I'm not delivering to them the responsibility of my success or failure in my life.
So now I want you to put that into a positive connotation.
Yeah, and then I wrote, more you are higher in your vibration, taking inspiration from and your inner lights is bright, more the dark forces gonna want to attack you and take your light down, so be prepared. If you are afraid or try to avoid to face dark forces, don't even start to be a light worker, right? Because these people say, oh, we don't want to be, your energy is so negative, we don't want to be involved with this. So you're a healer, like you should like help people that has negative energies to get out of, right? No, like, oh no, you're so negative, you can deal with your energy now because, so it's like, what the fuck? Now, define yourself a healer, but be annoyed or excluding people who are in a negative frequency and need help. Show you are not only there for the ego and you are not doing the real work. That's all the things that came out to me like these last days of my experience. So it is clear up.
Cool. Good job. You're doing the work.
Mm.
Remember, always focus on what you actually want as opposed to what you don't want.
Mm-hmm. What I
Always-
want.
Yeah, so the first two sentences need to change into the opposite.
Mm.
You were saying, what's the opposite of that? Because we attract what we focus on, whether we
Mhm.
want it or not.
Opposite. I need to change. Okay.
I have a forgiveness practice for you if you're open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for anyone who is interested as well. Apparently, forgiveness is one of my big channels or points in human design. So I will share this one. Write a letter to the person that is harming you or harmed you the most, or anyone who you still need to forgive.
Forgive it, buff. Difficult.
Yeah, and then feel free to do what you please with that letter. So you could just burn it on the new moon, which is this Friday, or you can give it to that person. But if you really want to be unfiltered and unleash, then you don't have to give it to the person, or don't think about what you're gonna do with the letter. Just write it
Mm-hmm.
and then do what you want with it afterwards. So don't think about
Mm.
what you're going to do with it, because if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to give it to this person, then you might be filtered. So don't.
Mhm.
Just write the letter forgiveness. It's really a nice practice.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me know if you do it and how it goes. It's a powerful one.
In the video, do I take it with the phone and then I post in the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we haven't heard from one person tonight. So we're gonna put you in the spotlight. Yeah, I see you smiling. How is it going? How can we support you? Do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I actually feel I feel like I'm a little bit of a blank slate right now. I feel like I'm super transitional and like my life is different. Like I just got this new job. I remember wanting to work in cannabis care for like 2 years. So it's like I am in a different setting. I don't even have like the same group of people anymore. And it's just I have been a little low energy. I've been working remote for the last 2 years. So just like the change from going to remote to like a physical job and traffic and waking up at 6 a.m. has been very different for me, especially because I am a little bit more of a night creature. I usually actually like pick up at like 12 after. And then like if you leave me to my own devices, I'm up like at 2 a.m. and then wake up like at 9, 10. Then I'm not really functioning. I'm very slow moving between 9 to 12. So it is a little bit of an adjustment. It's a little bit of an adjustment on my sleeping patterns. I feel like after this weekend, like now that I've been working for 4 days, I do work tomorrow, but I am excited for the weekend because I'm like, oh, I can finally like sit down and do the course because since it's been an adjustment, I have been kind of almost zapped of my energy a little bit. Like, so I'm also like in a place where my life is like my family doesn't really approve of like the lifestyle that I'm at, and I have like feelings in regards to it, but I'm also like I don't really care. Like I do and I don't, in the sense of like I'm not going to change my path because you disagree and you don't want to hear me out, because they'll hear me out for the one sentence but they won't let me get to the second part that actually explains why. So I feel consistently misunderstood, and that's like a theme like of my life. And I feel like that's the reason why I've gotten really good at communication. But right now I don't feel like I used to be like this really emotional person. Um Big feelings, and my whole family is like that. We're all really big personalities, and I feel like I've just been really chill the last week and a half. Like even I went to the event and I didn't really want to go to the event, but I was like, no, my partner encouraged me. They're like, you should go and network. You know, I know you're not feeling it, but if you show face, they'll see that you're serious about it and it opens opportunities for you. So I went, but I was still low energy. You know, I got the job done. Um, but I feel like I'm gonna have to keep on working on what I had promised you, which is to get a clear vision. And I feel like that's what it is. Like I don't really have like that, like you know how we have like those names like Millionaire Mama, and like Goddess. Like I haven't created that yet. So I feel like that's why I feel so blank set. And I think also I am kind of being cycled into like a new life overall. So I don't really have that much input aside from I know Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is going to be my week. My days free where I can actually get to explore a little bit more and do some work on the course. I did realize that when I had done the ho'oponopono, it was actually really moving for me. And I actually realized, actually, Masha, your forgiveness practice was very similar. I realized I had a lot of like feelings come up during the I'm sorry forgiveness part. So I did kind of want to write a letter to the person on my end. Um, Not so much on the forgiveness, but more of like my I'm sorry. Because, you know, I feel like I'm at that cusp of like that older identity dying and like question mark. Like I know what I want, but like it's not tied. And I feel like I have to introduce like the element of play because a lot of my procrastination is fear-based. And I know that play is one of the ways to do that. And I did happen to see like one of the gates or channels in my human design mentioned play as well. So I feel like that's really just going to be me exploring and dipping my toes to see what play looks like for me in multiple settings.
Yes. So do you understand the concept of identity, right? A new identity. How do you see that? Like how do you understand what a new identity means?
Um, I feel like when you tell me like form a new identity, I try to like really see like the person I'd like to be, and the values and morals that that person might have. And I feel like in that sense, I am walking that path. I think it's harder more on my day to day as far as goals because I am so off the blueprint now. Like I like compared to being in the spiritual community, it's just, you know, you're already walking off the path of like what society deems. And I've left them the corporate world and I am doing a part-time job. But it's hard when it's not day-to-day support. Like I don't really have like a core group or friendships or anything to really rely on a day to day. And I have my partner, but again, my partner's 500 miles away and all of our plans are months in advance. So it's hard for me to do the individual steps when everything is 5, 6 months away. Um, so I feel like I have to just really sit with myself, and I really haven't had the opportunity this week to do that. Um,
And you
to
would
like really
you use us as your support group and feel at home to be able to share as you're going through this? Because this is why we're here. We're a
yeah.
community.
Yeah. I just mean more on like the emotional support I feel like that touch exercise you actually mentioned earlier was great because I do kind of feel a little touch starved. I am very much used to having a partner at least that I can see like weekly. You know, we're almost going on 2 months not seeing each other. And the phones are great, but it's not the same as physical touch. So I definitely will take that and be like, I feel like I just need a place to rest and kind of just turn into a puddle, and then I can reform and build from there.
Cool. I'm glad that you
Yeah.
have an identity that rocks. Everybody understands identity, right? Like what we're doing here. how we're stripping away the old, like to step into the new, so that way the old slowly diminishes. And like I say, she died, right? Every day the old dies to step into this new identity. I'm proud of you.
Thank
I'm
you.
happy you're here. Your soul tribe is here. Those who are waiting for you are waiting, and they're gonna hear you out because they're waiting for your voice to resonate and speak up. So sometimes we want so badly for our family to be part of that tribe, but in reality, sometimes that's the wrong tree we're barking on, darling. And it's like we don't feel valued or we don't feel seen. But the truth is, there's a vast ocean of energy and people that really need to hear our truth the way we say it.
Thank you.
Yeah. When you hone into this new identity with this higher self vision, your purpose, because you're going to start healing through this higher purpose. And you're going to be like, wow, like for all these times when I wasn't being heard, like I'm starting to see that I am being heard now. And here are my people, and your people are going to start coming as you're going to start sharing more of that truth, barking up the right tree, the vast ocean of the people who are waiting for you to hear exactly what you need to say, exactly how you say it. You see what I mean? Because you're seen, what you say is valuable, who you are is important, your life lessons is what's going to change many, many lives. You know that deep down inside, don't you? And I'm glad you're here. And every day is a new day. And you just gotta hang on and do 0.01 every single day. That's all that matters.
Thank you. I know it's difficult in that sense. Like I do know communities there. It's just it's new, you know. It takes time for those connections to build. And that's actually where I'm at. Like it's not that I have a lack of people, it's just the support depth that I'm seeking is not quite there yet. And that takes time to cultivate. And I feel like that's also like the lesson of being okay with me and I got me, you know? So that's why I'm just like really seeking, and I think that's my biggest goal for this weekend is really just having like time to myself. I feel like I really haven't had that, especially because this past weekend I was in community in acts of service, and then I went straight to work. And then I went to go see my dad. I do see my I have divorcee parents, so I do try to see my dad once or twice a week. So that's like a scheduled thing, and that's scheduling off time for them. Um, but I do think I need to just kind of give myself that space and be vulnerable. I haven't really let myself like cry. Um, I actually deal with a lot of depression, and I feel like I've been managing it really well lately. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna fall and slip into my episodes, so I feel like I'm actually really good. But I haven't turned into my usual puddle yet, you know? And I think I'm just waiting for like that time to like just rest. Like I probably this weekend will probably be like a time to just rest and recover, cry my heart out, watch like some good movies. I love Encanto because I actually look like the Encanto girl and she resonates a lot in my family patterns. So I'll probably watch a whole bunch of Disney movies that hit close to home and let my inner kid cry it out. But that's pretty much where I'm at. And having the human design chart does help because I have a lot of my circuit is very individual heavy. So it gives me the sense of calmness where it's like, oh, I am supposed to be experiencing this to a degree, you know? Like it's not just me because after being a black sheep for so long, it's a little hard, you know? Versus it's like this is a map and it's like you're supposed to be the black sheep and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it makes it a little bit easier knowing that.
Good. Love, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for listening, thank you for holding space.
Yes. Anybody have anything else they want to input?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a question on this bothering my brain for a while. Like, there is some like a guru or other coach people they pretend to be coach. this when you like you know, you have ups and downs, right, in your lives.
Mhm.
And when you start to talking about your problems, they say, no, stop to talk about your problem. You need to only say about positive things, you know, like, and it's like, okay, but you know, sometimes you just need to vent out, like she has to vent out too, no, or me too, like, and you need just somebody listening, right? That is wrong to like, for a second venting out, and then just focus back on the positive things. Because oh is good, because I feel sometimes you have these things, and if you don't get it out, they just stuck inside you, right? So
So
if you like have this negative.
Selva, most people haven't been taught how to hold space. So it's our job to ask, can you hold space for me? Because what holding space means is that we just speak and the other person has no emotion, no, you're right, you're wrong. They just hold space for you to allow the energy to go. But most people don't know how to do that. So it's our job to ask, hey, can you hold space for me without telling me I'm right or wrong? Because I just want to talk it out. Some people call
Right.
it sounding board. Hey, can you be a sounding board for me? So like this is our job as awakened beings to ask for that if that's what we need, because we can't assume that people know how to do this.
But
Or they-
sometimes some people that look like they pretend to be so awakened, you know, like you ask if you know, you ask this, can you, I want to share this, and you start talking about your
No,
negative
but
things.
that's not enough.
They,
You have to set the
they,
stage
you,
before you share.
hmm?
You have to set the stage before you share. You have to tell them
Yes.
explicitly, I would like to share something. Can you be a sounding board? Can you please don't answer or don't judge or don't say this is good or bad? I just want to get it out. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
but yes, but sometimes I do like, I just wanna, you know, share, you know, these things, these things is bothering me, you know, like, and the other person is like, you know, stop, don't say anything, because you just putting on the field the negative frequencies, so you just need to focus on the positive and such and such. But that sounds a little bit like a hard approach, because there is nobody in the world that's always happy, always positive, you know, like.
But you got to ask permission to
Mhm.
have this person, to use this person's space and energy to be able to dump your stuff.
Mhm.
You're coming in and you just want to dump your stuff, but you haven't prepared the person, then of course
Mm,
there's opposition because there's no
mm.
preparation.
Yeah, and not
Yeah, that's I
everybody's
understand.
available
No,
for that sort of
but
thing.
that I understand. But some people go around say there is wrong to venting or to release this, you know, this energy out. You should just not think about and just focus on the positive. I
So
understand, but sometimes, you know, you need to release. You know, I don't understand that. So it's wrong to release.
No,
Oh.
just remember that what Nessa just said, not everyone is in a place where they can hold space for somebody to release.
Mm.
So there's
So
a
it's
reason why.
not wrong to release. That's what
No,
I'm
it's
my
not.
Mhm.
It's just some
okay.
people don't have the capacity. Like if somebody is already going through their own stuff and you
Mm.
want to release on them and they're maybe super spiritual, but they're going through it. Maybe they're having a weird day. And here now you're dumping, but you didn't set the stage. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
ask for permission. So
Mm-hmm.
now there's no container. Because maybe this person that you're about to share, right, doesn't have capacity right now to listen to anything. So of course
Mm-hmm.
the universe is gonna say, "Oh, deflect that." Like their cup is not full. So now
Mm-hmm.
their cup is not full. Your cup is not full. And do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, the things like that's I understand is right, but what this person will say that is wrong to do that, to just
Right.
no
That's because
that.
that's because they don't have a full cup right now. They can't hold space.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't set the stage, there's gonna be lots of opposition.
This person go around to teaching to other people that is wrong to do that, to hold space for other
Right.
people.
All you can do is control you. And if you want to take your energy out and share, you gotta make sure you share with somebody who has the space to hold you. Hold your
Mm-hmm.
energy in that moment. Okay, two people want to share. Mash, go ahead.
three people want to share, but I want to start my share with Jen. Thank you so much for letting us hold space for you and for being vulnerable and for sharing your tears. We were clearly available because we're in a container to hold the space. So thank you so much for sharing your tears. By being vulnerable and sharing your tears, you're welcoming us to be more vulnerable. So that is a gift in itself. And then I want to respond to Salva. I used to be one of those people, especially when my friends would call me and complain about COVID and things like that. And I learned that, and she would tell me, I was like, I can't listen to this. Like, I want positivity. And my friend was like, why aren't you like listening to me? Why are you like not holding space for me? And I'm like, because I don't have the space right now. So I also learned to be on the other side where like if I don't have the space and a friend starts to complain and my cup is not full, then I say, hey, like I love you from the bottom of my heart, but I can't listen to this right now. Like I'm already not in a good state. I'm not in a good space myself. So I can't listen to this. And then I heard about spiritual bypassing.
But I did once at your place. My friend, she is having, mental issue, and she's not. I have already my problem, like I'm going through, and she was down on me all this, and I say, look, let's talk about positive things, and then she basically got mad, and she didn't call me anymore, like. So, and I was like, what I did wrong, like, because I expressed I wasn't able to be holding space for her in that case because I was already full of my shit. And then the other person got offended. So it's kind of really complicated even to explain sometimes, and then people get to understand this concept because you think either way, sometimes you feel like you don't listen, or you feel like you are selfish because you don't have the space to listen to other people, right? So
So
that's what I'm
you remember
between.
you have to be selfish in order to raise your vibrations.
Boundaries.
Jen, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about the whole spiritual bypassing thing. It is very common to see spiritual people sometimes take that first step, but not continue the journey. And in the reality of it, it's life is not all love and light, and we do require the darkness to be in the light. So that's it's there. We're having a human experience. I don't think it's wrong to have those conversations. I tend to be the space holder for others. So I completely understand. I think what happens is expectations and boundaries as far as your friend is concerned. Because boundaries in this society isn't really taught. We're all learning to have boundaries. And we're all taught to be people pleasers and serve others. And we don't even know that we have our own cup that we need to fill before serving others. So I feel like those who are more awakened in that sense are starting to put boundaries. But there's nothing you can do if you've established love and you've established your personal boundaries. And it's like, listen, I can hold space for you, but I can't at this moment. I'm more than happy to maybe set time tomorrow so I can be prepared for that, or maybe in a couple hours. I think about people who are upset when you have boundaries are people that also benefit when you don't have boundaries. And that tends to be a theme a lot with family, or just close friends when you're running in older, like groups that you no longer vibrate with anymore. So I feel like sometimes if it's a hurdle in the loss, like there's a hurdle in the relationship because of it, then maybe that's not a relationship for you if she's going to make it a big deal to that extent. There you can be upset because she might have ran to you out of expectation that you would be available, but you have every right to also hold your boundaries and tell
And
that to her.
and remember that if you at one point did not want to hear somebody rant, then the same thing is going to happen to you. Like if you didn't create that boundary, so every moment is a new moment, right? So if somebody comes to you now and starts, they didn't create the container because they don't know how. That's for you to teach them. But they come and, for example, your cup right now is not full. but you're listening anyways because you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? That same situation is gonna happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Not only this person is gonna feel that they're depleted and they're listening to you, but then they're gonna project out, oh no, 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 not this, just positivity. And then you're gonna feel like, what the F? But the thing is, change begins with us. So if your cup is not full and somebody comes and they start to dump, it's up to you to create the boundary and say, this isn't the time. And if next time you do want to share with me something that you feel that you need to express and that's a negative, can you please ask me beforehand just to make sure that I have the space to be able to hold space for you for that. You see, because we are the change that we wish to see in the world, right?
Yeah, and there is also the case that, like, if I have an issue, like example with you, right? And then, there is something that happened and we need to clarify. And I start to, telling you what I think, and then you tell me back, and then, the conversation go and say, oh, I don't have energy now to put on this conversation, and then there is no resolution. That's also is kind of like sometimes it feels like the people doesn't want to take responsibility of their own actions and doing, like in try to solving, the problem that there is between, right?
Question, who is the only person that's responsible in this life?
Me or myself, but definitely when people take decision for me without me, it's not fun, and then I want explication and they can give me an explication because it's too negative, the energy now. Right?
The only person we can only control is who in this lifetime?
Me.
Nessa, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch a little bit on it. And not every human being is safe for you to give your vulnerability to, right? So it can create more issues having a conversation with someone that's not safe. So what I've found in my own personal life, I have like very strict boundaries. I don't take calls after 8 about anything that's serious. I have family members that are not very safe, so I set appointments with them. And then I have very like certain language that I use with people that I know that may be safe, but they might not have the capacity. So I'll start like, I really need to talk about something right now. I'm not looking for input right now. I just need to let this out. And they'll say yes or no. And I've had a friend that came and started dumping on me, trauma dumping, and I didn't know what it like. I just felt like shit. And this person held the conversation hostage, and I just didn't understand at that time. But now I understand that if anything ever happens like that, I just stop it right there. I'm like, listen, I don't have the capacity for this right now. Maybe next week sometime I will. I apologize. Let's maybe make an appointment to talk about this. Or, I send people to professionals because I am not professionally,
Yeah,
That's
in alignment to handle a lot of the problems that people have. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is completely out of my lane. And I do this a lot with clients. So it's just a matter of those boundaries, right? And language and just stopping it right there. And you can even ask for invitations. Is it okay to talk about this? Or, you talked about someone that you wanted to have a conversation with, just saying, hey, do you think we can make time to have a conversation about something that happened? If they say no, and I've had people tell me no left and right, it was a punch in the gut the first couple times, but now I'm happy. I'm like, yes, they set their limits. They told me what they're not ready to get, and I'm okay with that. So it takes practice. It's a muscle, right? We're working out emotional, mental, spiritual, every kind of muscle you can think about. And I think it's harder than the body, because the body, at least you go work out, you get achy. But no, this other stuff, it gets you tired, it gets you emotional, it gets you through all these things that you just don't know what to do with it.
So if the other person also is not ready for the conversation because he's not ready for the things that you want to tell to them and is not ready for that, mirroring or like, reality check, right?
To write a letter and release it out of the body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's ready. Like, not everyone's gonna be on the same vibrational state. Not everybody's ready to level up. Not everybody's ready to be vulnerable. We can't push people harder than they're ready to be pushed or willing to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember when I did the human design thing, and I had like a week that I was just crying, that I was like, oh, I don't know how come I didn't know this. Like I had a literal breakdown, and I called Dasha and I was like, we gotta meet. And she was the only person that was safe enough that she's like, oh, come sit in my apartment. You can cry all day. We'll hang out. If you want me to talk, I'll talk. If you don't want me to talk, but I'm here for you. And
Mhm.
that's how you hold space. Like she didn't, and if you want, I didn't want anybody to stop my crying because I needed to release all of that. And she knew how to give me that. I knew that I couldn't be around anybody else because if not, they were going to stunt my growth. They were going to stunt my emotional release. So I think for me, every time I've grown more and more and more, I know who is available to me and who is a big no-no. I stay away from that person if I'm going through something because it's just going to injure me more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Mm-hmm. So also people that come to you and tell you what is good for you and what is not good for you, they are not like, in a safe container like we are, like, these all wanna be coach outside, they wanna be guru, like they are coming, giving you advice for, just because they want to tell you what to do, but not because they really care or really, want to help you, or because you ask the help or you trust them. So this also is kind of like, there is no container. That's why the things get not received. And sometimes, I don't know, like I think it's just more like a power game for certain people. They try to overpower you with these things.
So
This is a good conversation.
yeah, the only thing we
Hmm?
can do in this life is transform ourselves and then explain to others how to hold space for us. And if they have the space, they will. If not, we have a
Mm.
container like this. That's it.
And
So
even when unsolicited advice is coming through, I'll stop somebody and I'm saying, I'm not looking for input right now, but thank you. When I am looking for input, I'll let you know. I stop them. That's it.
that's a good one.
Mhm.
I'm not looking for input right now. But when I
Advice.
do decide to look for input, I'll let you know. That's it. Stop them because you're not looking for their unsolicited advice.
I will
Yes,
say,
for the unsolicited
And guess
advice.
what? I won't even let people talk to me or tell me about their stuff unless they're paying money to transform their life.
How do you do that? Tell me. But that I want to hear.
Nobody has, yeah, like, I pay for a coach. I don't need like, people telling what to do in my life for free. They are doing care, like.
And if people ask you for your advice, guess what? You got an offer for them.
Come to see my office.
Or send them our way and we'll create a split that works best for everybody.
Mhm.
You don't
Yeah.
have to coach people for free. You don't have to help them for free. You don't have to hold space for free if you don't want to, unless you really like spending time in
Doesn't even appreciate. If you do for free to a friends, you give an advice, they doesn't appreciate because they feel judged. Same me, like at the same time somebody, maybe I didn't even ask anything, but somebody tried to tell you need to eat this, you need to smoke this, you need to like. Excuse me, I do what I want with my body. Like I don't need a guru things following me in the kitchen, telling me what to do. Like. So, and as you say, unsolicited advices, like you don't perceive it because you didn't ask for help on certain things. I
Let's-
think is good. The container things make sense in both way.
So let's finalize what's everybody accountable for this week and how we can hold space. So
Mm.
I want to see everybody's calendars this week when you pencil in your daily rituals, or if you're reaching out, like Selva, are you gonna be reaching out to any company for the clothing? Or
I got this offered actually to probably take a shop by Eclipse, 20 by 20, and because it's so big, I can share with two friends more and probably sell off all the inventory there. So I'm like considering that, and I need to retalk this week to see if we can do that, because they was having still like, issue to pay me all that amount because it was, was a big amount. And so I say, okay, you can give me the ticket in the shop, and then I resell 2/3 of the shop to my friends. So I get the money, and I still selling my stuff, but it doesn't cost me much. And so I'm trying to reorganize that like that. Yeah.
okay, so
So
everything
they just go.
toward your vision. Do you need any accountability this week, or you're good? You know what you're doing?
Me, like I know what I'm doing. I need to finish some stuff. I probably gonna need to shuffle the jacket back after Love Burn because I don't think I'm gonna be able to do everything quite right by Sunday because it's already Wednesday. I didn't even start all the stuff because yeah, we've been through police and this and that and putting together documents and such, researching, like all these things. So
So you're
probably
good.
just gonna do
Don't need
the
you
love burn
don't need
and
any
the
Selva,
virtual. Yeah,
don't need any accountability this week, right? You're good. You know what to
I'm
do.
good. Yeah, I just need to there for the video, maybe like the video that you asked me. Yeah,
Do that
yeah,
video by Saturday noon.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Who else?
by next Wednesday will be easier because I can do it, Monday.
Okay. Make sure you're speaking very clear to a 5-year-old child. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else needs accountability? What are we accountable for? Jen, I think you're this weekend. You're going into your puddle, and we'll see.
Yeah, I wanna go into my puddle. I wanna go into my puddle, and I do want to do some of those letters. I feel like in the Ho'oponopono, like I listened to a song that I really liked. Um, I don't have time to explore the depth, so I feel like the letter is like where I just gotta dump it all. And yeah, maybe I burn it because I don't really want to reach out to that person. I feel like they actually just recently blocked me after like 2 years after everything. So I think it's like, that's a clear boundary in that sense. So just feed it to the fire.
Read the words on the screen on the Ho'oponopono multiple times because they're awesome. And if anyone
Hmm.
hasn't read it at least 10 times, I welcome you to read it because it explains on a subatomic level what's going on in the body with that forgiveness practice.
Yeah.
So read
I
it.
actually sing it. I actually sing it with the song that I found like someone on YouTube and I really liked it. So I actually sing it with them and that tends to like really cause a lot of emotion for me too.
I love
So
that.
yeah, my letters and my puddle.
Cool. Anyone else? What you need accountability, responsibility?
Sure.
Yep.
I think I'll go after some corporates this week and offer them a wellness plan. And I just found that there is a networking event tomorrow. And I wonder if I can get in. That would be the best way to just go because it's a middle market M&A community. So that would be best. So my accountability is to
Getting
reach
more
out.
clear on vision that you want to serve wellness at corporates.
No, I want to do it all. I want to do wellness at corporates. I want to do a forgiveness group, or I want to do an event where I serve Sananga, microdose cacao, breathwork sound, Reiki, and touch. I want to do a flyer with the one that I've been working on with the testimonies on the back on shiny paper. Just want to do it all.
Right.
Which one do I choose?
Just one at a time. Right?
Well, if I want to make money right now, I think that if I do this event, I think I would resonate well with the community because there's a lot of events in Miami, but none in Fort Lauderdale. So this event would be really neat. So, and doing the flyers and bringing them around town with my offerings and putting it in the yoga studio. So that's like I guess that could be my first priority because I know that the corporates would take a long time. So, but I need to start the conversations with them.
Okay, so you know what to do?
Yes,
Do you need accountability?
yes. I want to get things done by get something out by Friday because that's the new moon and you
What does
want to
that mean? What does it mean?
set
Something?
your intention. I want to maybe get the event done by Friday and like post it.
Where are you gonna have the event done? There's no maybes here. This is not a
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, did I say maybe?
Yep.
I'll do the event by Friday, post it up
Post where?
on Eventbrite and those community groups that I'm in, What's Up, and on Nextdoor.
Okay, when is the
Oh,
date?
everybody on Nextdoor wants to do Sananga.
When is, okay, love that. When is the event gonna be on?
Um, maybe February 17th. Is that enough time to market a week?
Oh, I don't know. You tell me. That's you and your inner being.
I only want 10 people.
Okay, what's the price point?
88.
Okay, do you think you can get 88 people in a week? Yeah, I
I
mean,
just, I just want 10 people.
okay. That's up to you and your higher self.
Yeah. Oh, for when? Maybe February 24th, 2022, then.
Yep, 24. Okay. And remember, you have us as a community also. So
I'll invite you guys.
you get to create an incentive for us to help you enroll people
Okay.
in your beautiful event too.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay.
And come up with creative ways to market it, right? Going live or whatever. Fun things to do. Okay? And maybe you can come up with a fun way to sell to sell live event tickets through this creative process.
I actually have an idea. I actually have an idea. I know not everyone is familiar with Sananga, so I would definitely maybe just have a conversation about introduce the plant medicine to the people so they're aware and how like cacao, I'm still new to cacao, but also maybe chime in that how cacao is also a heart opener, Sananga being the eyes,
And
um,
microdose.
and microdose. So, a unison and maybe like go over
And
the
the
plant
breath work.
medicine and a breath work,
And then the
a
sound
grounding,
healing with the Reiki touch and forgiveness practice at the end.
a whole
Two,
sandwich, mini retreat.
it'll be like a 2.5 hour event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving mini retreat,
That's why I think the 88 is a good fair asking price. And then like cuddle puddle at the end if anyone's open.
Yeah, so I think just going over like the plant medicine and how and this specific concoction of the medicines together also would be nice because I don't
I like
think I think we see a lot of like we see a lot of like psilocybin and cacao usually overlapping, but I haven't come across anyone using Sananga as well. So I feel like maybe just a body cleanse almost, we're gonna work down our way with Sananga and then the heart. And
Mhm.
then I also like the intention and the grounding. So I think just maybe like a quick overview of like the plant medicines and maybe the offering as well would be a great way, whether that's on live or real, and then obviously in Eventbrite as well.
Where's this koi pond thing that you
So the it's called Redland Koi Garden, and that's actually in Homestead.
oh that's Homestead.
Yeah, the event that I ended up working, not this week, but 2 weeks ago was they were actually doing a daytime retreat festival kind of vibe where they had some people stay at the Airbnb that's on property, and they actually ended up sitting with the medicine, with the mushroom. And I actually met friends there, and we actually had a beautiful conversation because sisterhood is part of my vision board. So I did get to see some movement in that. Yeah, but the Koi Garden does events. I know that they did some flow events as well, and they have some options for rental. So that's definitely something to consider. And then I'm also working with Imagi, the Imagi Mart at Guy's Hideout. I'm usually front desk. I'm usually like the welcome desk for that
That
as well.
Miami.
Yeah, that's also Homestead. That's just like my easiest access to community from what I've realized. But you're in Homestead, you're in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, so I think I want to host it for this community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I actually, that helps me out because I do come across a lot of stuff in West Palm too. So I'll send it your way if you ever want to attend events there. I have a lot of people and friends that live in Broward
I just
County.
want to
So,
create events. I don't want to attend events anymore. I just
oh,
want
okay. You're like, no, I'm setting the tone now. I love that.
I've attended enough. I want to create them now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if I see a venue open, I'll definitely send it your way.
So by this Friday, you're gonna have the event posted, and the event is on February 24th.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I don't know what Sanunga is. I thought was talking earlier. I was talking to myself.
You're gonna have to find out when Masha's gonna post a video about it.
Okay.
Ah,
Good stuff.
Yes.
cool. Anyone need anything else? No, and remember, Mashi, remember this an event is an introduction to the people that come to some of your higher offerings, right?
That's why like on my vision board, I have 222, 24 as a goal. So I was wondering if I should do the event before that, because
Or
If
you change the vision board goal, but all has to be in alignment,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Everybody's full?
Yes.
Now go out there and serve the world with your love. Love and light. Woo woo.
I love you.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
great day, guys. Bye.